What's going on out there in the land of YouTube? What's up, YouTubies? I'm YouTubing today, YouTubing for a purpose. Let me know how the sound is if you guys would, please. I can't see anything. These lights are in my face. You have no idea because my original light system was taken. So I got a replacement light system, but uh, they're not right. So if you guys will just bear with me a little bit, then what I'll do is I'm going to show you guys a couple of things right now, and I want you guys to just so this entire stream right now is about Laney Hudson, and to be perfectly honest, you know, nobody wants to talk about a dead 13-year-old girl. Nobody wants to have that conversation, and I don't want to have it either. I've, as a human being, it's a lot to take in. It's a whole bunch to take in, and I have tried to avoid this. I've tried to stay away from it, but the problem is that that little neck of the country, that little block of the woods right there is my hood. I went there and I talked to an ex-cop yesterday who told me that I recorded the conversation. He gave me permission to air it without changing the voice. So I'll be airing that. Um, but this is a hard thing for me to do. Someone chimed in and said something earlier to me, someone who's a peripheral friend, and and let me just be 100% with this so everybody knows. I don't want to cover this. I don't. I don't. I can't do anything about it. I'm completely helpless. We have to rely on the powers that be to do the right thing to get justice for Laney. There's whether she was impaired or he was impaired, he's doing 80, 85, however fast he's going in an area that he shouldn't be doing 80, 85, 90 miles an hour. So that just shouldn't be happening. And so um, I want to show you guys a couple of videos that Delete Laws Clips has gathered over the past couple days, and I want you guys to see this because these videos are just absolutely crushing to see. And when it's gonna be riveting to you. Oh, do I have this on the proper one? This is to watch, and I don't know if I can if I can get justice for Laney. It's taking on a mountain. It's taking on a mountain of bureaucracy and red tape where the cops are going to close the loopholes so that we don't get the true transparency. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but yesterday BCI released a report that James Sheets, everything was fine, no bill. There's nothing to see here, folks. Even though we never saw the text messages, we never. Let me pin that comment right there. KT just put the GoFundMe for Laney. So that's all that you pin that comment if you would. DLZ clips right there. So we did raise her a little over $1,500 last time we did this. A lot of people dug to their wallets and put some money out. So I'm going to show you guys this one montage, and then I'm going to bring on um, someone who was right there on the scene when this all happened. First, let's take a look at this collage that was put together. I'll make no assumptions, and so you guys can decide what you're seeing. And I warn you, it's going to be tough to watch. It's going to be tough to watch. It's not going to be a fun watch. This is going to be hard for you guys to watch, but we have to remember this little girl.
Will always choose you. I will always fall into pieces, but I need this. Yeah, I need this.
So sad. I'm gonna pull another one of these up real quick so you guys can watch them. So sad, so sad. So let's bring on Morgan Gal real quick. Maybe I should show a new clip. Everybody knows what we're talking about right now, right? Everybody knows that we're talking about justice for Laney right now. I just want to make sure this is about Laney Hudson, right there in Huntington. So I'll just bring on Morgan so we can talk a little bit about it. I think that people there. I got her in the room now. Morgan, how are you today? Unmute your microphone if you would, please. And um, so this is Morgan Gall. She was apparently right there, Johnny on the spot. Morgan, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So now, from what I was told, and I've only gotten secondhand information. I've never spoken to Morgan on the phone. This is the first time. You were right there when Laney was hit, or your house is in the vicinity. Is that correct?
Yes, I was at home when it happened. Her body actually landed in front of my house.
Okay, so you were at home. What time of night did this happen? What time of the evening was it?
10:30 p.m.
Okay, so it was 10:30 p.m. And you heard the hit, and then what was your first what was the first thing that you did? You ran outside to see what that was?
Yes, so the intersection, everyone knows that lives here. This is an awful intersection. The lights are bad, the viewing are bad. Car wrecks happen all the time in this intersection. So me living here, I heard the hit. Me and my boyfriend looked at each other and instantly hopped up and walked outside, thinking to see a car wreck, to help people in a car wreck. And I saw a 13-year-old little girl laying feet from my door.
Go on. Okay.
The
So you saw her laying just feet from your door? You actually saw that?
Yeah, it was horrific.
Wow. And so what's the first thing you did after you saw that there was a little girl in your front yard? And obviously,
I instantly ran back inside to grab my phone. Instinct, I wasn't going to grab my phone and run outside. I just jumped up to go check on them. Um, so I ran back inside, called 911, and instantly laid my phone back down to go back outside and help any way I could.
wow. And so what did you do when you got out there? I mean, was there a CPR done, or was Laney DOA? Was she dead when she hit your lawn?
She was dead when she hit the lawn. No, nobody tried to flip her. She laid there for a while. The first ambulance got there and then flipped her over, and I believe tried to start an IV, but there was nothing anyone could have done.
Right. And when the paramedics got there, they didn't get an IV in, they didn't get anything in. They just did they just observe that she was gone, or was there any
Um,
attempt? Was she
I
just
believe
gone
there
from
was
it?
an attempt at an IV, but after they had taken a pulse and tried to support her head and neck, I believe they realized that there was no coming back.
And did the cop, when you I imagine you're out in your front yard and you see this girl in your, and so you're watching everything unfold, and there's a big discrepancy right now on whether or not there was any sort of breathalyzer or alcohol test on the cop, Jeff Racer Jr. Was there anything? Did you see anything that would conclude that there was some sort of sobriety test completed at all?
No, that he never talked to a medical personnel on scene. That never happened. The first statement released to the news was actually that he was given field sobriety test on the scene, which was incorrect. And then the second statement released by the chief was that two breathalyzers were given on test and he was transferred for field sobriety testing.
Wow. Okay. So he was transferred for field sobriety test, but he never got field sobriety done right there. You never saw the man tested for sobriety That's correct. Am I correct on that? I just want to be clear on this.
Yeah, that's correct. He was never given any field sobriety testing.
Okay. So it's a scene. There's a young child on her front lawn who is obviously asked. She got out there, and I imagine there's feelings of helplessness. And then, are there other kids around? Do you see other young people around there, teenagers running around the scene?
Yes, actually, I didn't I didn't see them before I heard them. So they were across the street. There's an automotive like repair shop on the corner, and the group of friends she was walking with were all over there in that lot screaming, rolling on the ground. I heard them before I saw them. I didn't know she was by herself at the time when she got hit, and I had walked out of my house until I saw and heard all of them on the corner.
And when you saw and heard all of them, so how many police are going to show up to that scene? How many cops are there?
There was at least 20.
20 cops.
As soon as as soon as the first cops pulled up, one pulled up next to the cruiser that was involved in the accident, and then an ambulance, a fire truck, and the rest of them blocked off the street from every corner possible.
Mhm. So do you feel like they were I mean, look, when the state's involved and there's actors of the state involved, there's often going to be make sure no one sees what's going on. It sounds like they set up a perimeter so that nobody could get into that area. Is that right?
I would agree, and even I think they even did more than that when they pulled in, they like trapped her body in a circle with vehicles. So even with the street shut down, there was also more vehicles around her, where she was laying, so no one would have seen from any other side as well.
Wow. So then there's no way to know what they were doing inside of there. There was no way to really tell you if the cops were doing the right thing or not. We just have no idea. We have to go on the trust as though the cops are going to do the right things. And from my experience traveling the country, as you guys have seen, I've been on the road for a little over 15, 16 months. You guys have seen that if there's no camera on the scene or if there's someone Johnny on the spot on the scene, then we don't get transparency and we don't get justice. That's no camera. We keep this chant, no justice, no peace. The truth is no camera, no truth. I mean, that's quite literally the truth is that if there is no camera, then there will be no truth. And that's what we're looking at here. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of these pictures were sent in by Laney's mom. I want this. Hopefully that fundraiser is pinned at the top. Laney's family has a GoFundMe set up. DLZ clips. If you could guys make sure you keep on sharing that. Keep on sharing that GoFundMe link. But this is the little girl who was killed because the cop was doing 80 miles an hour. I mean, just and this is her mother, Opal, and I mean, what a delightful little girl. This is probably one of my favorite pictures, just the attitude she has, the swagger. You can see it. And then, all the accessories with the bracelets and the nose piercing and the heart and she's such a you can just see it. She's such a character. I mean, she's just a little girl. It's just if we got to keep her, I want everybody here who's got a Facebook page, who's got a Twitter page, who's got an Instagram page, grab one of these pictures, take a screenshot if you need me to send them to you, myself or DLZ Clips, send you one of these and post it on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, Justice for Laney, hashtag Justice for Laney. So if you guys would please be so inclined, if you need me to send you one of the pictures, then I'll send you the pictures. But it's pretty rough. So Morgan, so then when the cops all come, do you give them a statement? Do you explain to them that You heard this horrific bang and the little girl, and then they say the cameras don't work. So what kind of inquiry is going on with the police on the scene when there's a dead child there?
So I asked for a badge number. I was never asked for a statement. Let's start there. I was never asked for a statement. The first police who arrived on the scene took Jeff Racer and his girlfriend, or the female in his passenger seat, away from the scene. Instantly, the first cop took them away. The second cop pulled up, came out, and walked over to her body, asked everyone standing there if they had any pictures of the little girl or saw exactly what happened, and then instructed us to return to our residences. I obviously I have a picture window in the front of my house, so I can still see everything happening as she was laying right in front of my house. They never asked me for a statement. I walked back outside um, and asked a police officer for a badge number of the officer involved in the incident. I was denied a badge number. My mom was also at my house at the time and asked another police officer what happened, and he instructed her that she knew as much as he did. Um, and then we were instructed to go back inside again. They never asked for a statement, never knocked on my door, never asked me what happened. Um, I felt
They
from
don't care.
there, yeah, I felt from there that there was something wrong. That the situation at hand shouldn't have been everyone go back to your house. Um, they didn't want a statement. They didn't want to know what happened. I felt from there everything was being hidden, and that's when I started taking pictures. Um, I have pictures of the cruiser at the scene. I have pictures of her lifeless body laying in front of my house. I I talked to the officer that night. Um, it was I felt like it was being hidden from then. I knew something was wrong.
Something is wrong. Something's very wrong, and it's been wrong for a long time. We don't have any sort of real third party, autonomous third party that investigates police. One of the first things that should happen when a cop kills somebody, whether that be with a gun or a car, or injures somebody in any way, shape, or form, is they should be sequestered. Their communication devices should be taken away. All police involved should be sequestered from each other with their communication devices taken away so we can have a proper investigation into what happened. But instead, something's very, very wrong. We have the same people who are called first responders responding to clean up the mess of a dead child in your front yard and to cover up the tracks of one Jeff Racer Jr. So it's as long as we continue to have a system where we use the August Vollmer philosophy from 1929 in the policeman handbook that cops will be autonomous and they'll clean up their own backyard. We've seen it from the Seabury Commission, the Wickersham Commission, the KNAP, the Mullen Commission, the police commissions that are available on my website for free, on Delete Laws for free. If you read them, you'll see that this organization that we call law enforcers has got to go. We don't want law enforcers in our country. We want rights protectors. If they were truly rights protectors here, they would have sequestered all those cops, taken away their communication devices, and had a real investigation. But we've read every police commission there is. They continue to be able to hide it because we've given this organization autonomy, and it makes me sick. And now a little girl is dead, and there's going to be no real investigation. The woman who found the body in her front yard wasn't interviewed. We have a problem in what we call law enforcers in our country, and it's got to change. It's absolutely got to change. So, Morgan, since this has happened, and she walked out and saw the little girl in her front yard, have the police reached out to you to get your statement or talk to you?
Never once.
Never once. So for the Lawrence County Sheriff, that coward Jeff Lawless, I have a witness on the phone here. I have a witness on the line named Morgan Gall. Laney's body was thrown into the front yard. So Jeff Lawless is supposed to be the sheriff of Lawrence County, but really from my perspective, he's inept, and he does things that are absolutely unethical and should be illegal and should be charged with crimes for what he's done. He's a bad person. He's overall a bad person. Lawrence County, and they continue to get the same people in office, the same people who I listened to the Ironton City Council meeting yesterday, and they raised fees again. I listened to the December 11th or whatever the 10th, whatever the date was. I watched it on YouTube, and when it came for public commentary, there was nobody in the room. There was nobody there for public commentary. So Cable County Sheriff, that's the one. So the Cable County Sheriff is supposed to be the one that investigates this. But let me ask you a question, Morgan. How long have you lived there in that little area?
A year and a half.
So, um, and then you've lived there for a year and a half.
At this particular residence, I've been here at a year and a half, but I've actually lived here in the Highland area since 2008.
Okay, so you've been there for 14 years, 15 years, something like that.
Right.
Okay, so now is this, from your own perception? Obviously, these aren't going to be facts, but in that little area of the world, the tri-state area of Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, from my perspective, besides Arizona, I could list 10 places, but it's one of the most corrupt places in the world. Have you experienced anything yourself? Because now, Morgan, you're now going to be public and these cops may try to target you. Do you have any fear of these cops retaliating against you?
I have a large fear of having a target on my back over the whole situation. I was one of the first people to comment on a post on the Huntington, West Virginia 911 page, and I had cops instantly standing in my front yard arguing with me on Facebook about what had happened. I
Wow.
instantly felt then that I had a target on my back. They were standing in my driveway until 2:30 a.m. threatening my boyfriend if he came out of the house that it would be a bad effing time for him, quote by quote, word for word. Um, and I felt trapped in my own house with them all standing in my driveway on my sidewalk with the little girl in my yard because of them.
Did you by any chance video record this? What you were seeing and experiencing?
No, actually, when they threatened my boyfriend, I was inside my house at the time, and he had gone outside. Her aunt, which we thought was her mom at the time, was hysterical, screaming outside, and I heard her from inside of my residency. Um, so my boyfriend had walked outside to try and console her, and that's when the cops were threatening him, telling him to go back inside. That no one wanted to see their daughter on the road, and he said, I understand no one wants to see that, but she is on the road. And that did happen. There's no hiding that. And she is laying in front of my yard. And that's when a cop came from behind him and pushed him. And then there was a group of 5 officers around him by the time I got to my front door to get him back inside.
So the cops want to attack your boyfriend and they physically put their hands on him and you don't have a video of it?
No, I do not.
Okay. So, Morgan, thank you for coming on, and this is not just for you. This is for every. And just so you guys know, yesterday I'm not going to embarrass anybody, but I had a conversation with an auditor. A lot of auditors I talked to on the phone about how to handle the audit, how to do the actual audit, and how to handle your filming, and what to say, how to re- rebuff police who are coming to attack you. And the auditor told me, he said to me that the police are following me around. They're following me. They're tailing me. And I asked the auditor, I said, are you turning your camera on yourself and saying, hey, these cops are following me. I can't pull my camera up because they're behind me, but there's a copper right here following me. See my review mirror? There's a copper right there following me. Are you doing that? And he said, no. And now we hear Morgan Gall in the most intense moments of her life, where there literally is death in the streets. Her husband is being accosted by the men who are the first responders to this little girl's death. And instead of it being, hey, tell us what you saw, it becomes confrontational and they're shoving her boyfriend and surrounding him. And she doesn't take a video of it. So I have a story here, but there's no video. When you see a copper, and people are going to say this or that. I don't care what people say about me. Your phone comes out when you see a copper. If you walk into Quickie Mart, 7-Eleven, if you go into a chicken restaurant, if you go to Pizza Hut, if you're going to your cousin's house, if you walk out the front door and you see a copper at the 4-way stop sign when you're going to get in your car, boom, phone comes out. And I just let them know. I point it right at them. I'll even do one of these to them and show them, got you. I'm watching you. phone comes out. And if the cop says, put your phone away, you tell him, this is my First Amendment right. This goes right to the cloud. And if you touch my phone, it's a violation of my civil rights. Phone comes out. I keep saying this, and Morgan, please don't think I'm upset with you. I'm upset that I have to cover this young girl's death, that dozens of people from the area reached out to me. DLZ Clips asked me this week, hey, Chille, you don't want to cover this story? I don't. I don't. I don't want to cover this. I don't. It's horrible. And then the mistakes that are made when you dig into the investigation, you start to see the mistakes that are made. There's no videos. You got to have a video of everything coppers do. This could be the only thing that saves you. And now Morgan had to watch her boyfriend be accosted when, if it was on video, we could file a lawsuit against them. And then that slows down that little copper for a short period of time. So this is the only lesson I want to take away from this. Every single person here, when you see a copper, put it in the comment section. When you see a cop, you pull out your phone and you start filming. I don't care if you're in church. I don't care where you are. When you see a cop, your phone comes out and you start filming them. I've got two of them. Which one do you want? Which do you want, the left angle or the right angle, copper? I got you. So this has to become a major thing. Put it in there. Whenever you see, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you've witnessed a little girl get hit by a car, or if you're walking down the road to get a pack of gum at 7-Eleven. You see a cop, you record him. You record him. So I'll get off my soapbox now. I'm sorry. I just so now, are these Cable County sheriffs or are these Lawrence County police? What kind of coppers are in your driveway while Laney is there?
They are Cabell County Police Department. There were a few Cabell County sheriffs, but not very many. They were mostly the Cabell County deputies.
So their deputy killed a person, and then they're the people responding to what's happening on the scene?
Yep.
I mean, like what are we talking about here, people? Like, Americans, like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist here. The guy who killed the little girl in the car, the same cops he worked with should not be investigating that crash. They should not be the first responders to that crash. We need a third-party autonomous organization that works against coppers, because they're not on our side. I mean, Morgan, when the cops got there, did you feel like the cops were there to get justice for Laney, or they were working against you and your boyfriend?
Working against me and my boyfriend. As soon as they got there, they took the man that did it off the scene.
So as soon as the backup cops get there, they take Jeff Racer and they run him off?
Yeah, that was the first thing that happened. Before Laney's body was ever touched, he was gone.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a cover-up. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that the Cable County deputy sheriffs did a cover-up here. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like it was a cover-up. And put a 1 in the chat if you feel like the Cable County deputies should have been ran off the scene. They should not have been on that scene. Should not have been there. They shouldn't have been in it. Shouldn't have been sitting there. Shouldn't have been anywhere near it. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up from top to bottom. And this is part of the reason why I didn't want to cover this story. I can't do anything about it. There's no one, I go back to the James Sheets case. They released a blurb yesterday this big. Oh, no bill, no wrongdoing. Where are the text messages from Tommy Shinneman? Where is all the body cam and dash cam from every cop car and every cop involved? They are covering it up in Ohio. David Yosh, the attorney general, you are dog shit. You are dog shit, David. Excuse my language. David Yosh, you are a piece of trash. You are running a trash organization. And by the way, look up BCI on YouTube. Look how many cases that they are accused of being fraudulent and cover up and liars. BCI ripped off a guy's home in Ohio. BCI is the biggest crap organization in Ohio. It's a bunch of super cops that are only there to make sure that their cops will get away with killing somebody else. And it's all over the state. The state of Ohio has a major problem, and it's called BCI and David Yosh, who is the state attorney general of Ohio. Ironton has a major problem. You have an attorney general in there who just let your mayor off from DUI. How did the mayor get off for DUI when we saw he was drunk? Everybody else gets ran through the system, but not if you're the mayor, you just get off. What about that councilman, Perry? He just gets off after he's charged criminally. What about Spulgeric? Spulgeric resigned. Bradley did. What about that 28 grams of drugs? So now we got a little girl dead in the exact same little tri-state area. And the cops who did the investigation were the same cops that Jeff Racer Jr. worked with. And Morgan said they swept him off the scene the very moment that they arrived. So, Morgan, can you tell me a little bit of information? Why do you think that they grabbed him off the scene as soon as they got there? Did I lose you, Morgan? Are you still there, hon? You may be cutting out a little bit.
I
Could you
think they
speculate?
knew that he was in the wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh, could you speculate? You think that they knew he was in the wrong?
Yeah. So when I walked outside, not only me, there was neighbors, there was people outside. Everyone was screaming at him to turn his lights on, turn his lights on. I talked to him. I think he was questionably drunk. I don't think he was completely sober at all. I think from then him not turning his lights on, he returned to his car 4 times before turning his lights on. 4 times. He walked to his car and said he needed his phone to call his supervisor, walked away. He went to his car when somebody else told him to turn his lights on and put a toboggan on his head. And then he walked to his car again. I'm not sure what he did that time. And then the 4th time he finally turned his lights on. I felt from then, as soon as the cops came, they weren't trying to question him. No one checked on her body. He didn't touch her. He didn't check on her. I felt from them he knew he was in the wrong, and he didn't want to admit it. He knew he was going to get away with it, and there was nothing anyone was going to do.
Wow. So it's this is and Morgan, what you're saying is a microcosm of what goes on all over the country, is that the cops are covering it up. They're planting drugs by hiding the body cam. They're ripping people off, stealing their money, stealing their drugs, and the cops are the drug dealers, according to the Mullen Commission of 1994. I'm not just talking out my booty here. This is actually in the Mullen Commission of 94 that you can get on deletelaws.com absolutely for free. It says cops as drug dealers. It says cops as muscle for narcotics dealers. If you actually read the Mullen Commission, which each chapter is its own page, so you just read one chapter at a time, 2 or 3 pages at the most, you see that what I'm saying is exactly the truth, that the cops are the biggest drug dealers, pimps, gamblers, you name it. Organized crime is ran by police, 100%. And we're seeing it right now. And why are we seeing it right now? Because they clearly and obviously hid the manslaughter, because let's just say what it is, okay? DLZ Clips, check your text messages and resend me that link. You hear what I'm saying? Yo, so send me that link. Resend me that link of the audio files, because I'm actually going to play the audio files of the people who called me. There were so many people who called me from that little area right there, Huntington. And so I'm going to play, if DLZ Clip sends me over that file, I'm going to download that and I'm going to send it to you. But what we're seeing is the Mullen Commission of 1994 continue to perpetuate in society that we need a third party to oversee cops. It's written in the Seabury, in the Wickersham, in the Knapp, and the Mullen Commission. There will never be another police commission ever. They'll never allow it because it's such a corrupt, disgusting, broken system. And now that there's cameras everywhere, they can't lie. They can't lie. They can't lie. Resend the link, DLZ Clips. Just resend it in a fresh email, because I'm 400 emails back on that one. So we're seeing it. We're seeing it play out. And now Laney, Morgan clearly has illustrated for us the picture. Little girl gets hit by a car. It's such a loud boom. The whole neighborhood's like, holy crap, what was that? Then she goes outside. There's a little girl in her front yard that's gone. And so then the cops come there. They don't grab the little girl and rush her off to the ER. They don't do that. They grab the cop and rush him out of there. We're seeing it time and time and time again. It's just the most disgusting system that I've ever seen. And so, Morgan, let me ask you a question. When the cops leave, when you finally they're surrounding your boyfriend and physically putting their hands on him. How do you get those cops to leave, or do you have to go in your house, shut the door, and lock it, and just go to bed?
That's exactly what I felt I had to do. I didn't feel like I had any other option. I felt I had to remove him from that situation, put him in the house, lock my door, and that was my only option. They they were there to protect one of their own, and that was their intentions from the get-go. They they weren't worried about anyone else there. They were worried about hiding it and making sure no one was there. At one point in time, I even had an officer come up to me on my steps and tell me that he knows this is entertaining, but I should probably return inside of my house. I don't know what part of a 13-year-old girl is entertaining, but that set me off. That was a very uncalled for comment.
He said he knows this is entertaining, but it would be best if you just went back into your house. Those were his
Yes.
words.
Yes, exact words. I know this is entertaining.
And what was your response to the man when he said that to you?
I said, "What part of this is entertaining?" And he just looked at me and walked away. That was basically my encounter with every police officer that I had questioned, like the badge number, what had happened, all of that. They shook their heads at me and walked away.
Wow. Well, and this is the Cable County Sheriff's, and what's that sheriff's name over there at Cable County?
Sheriff Zirkle,
Zirkle.
or yeah, I believe it's Zirkle.
So, you know, just so you guys know, and I have the calls recorded, I have called Cable County Sheriff's Department and every alternative number that they've offered 20 times this week. I've called them 20 times and I can't get a hold of them. I don't know why Cable County Sheriff is just unavailable. Does anybody know why they're just unavailable? Because I don't know why. I mean, look at this little girl. She's just a little kid. She's literally a child. That she's not even a young woman yet. She's still a little kid. That is still a little kid. Now I know that they may be advanced for 13 years old, but to me, as a man who's 48 years old, this is a child. This is a child. And instead of doing the right thing, they seem to have just done everything they can to sweep this under the rug. And it's pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. It's pretty pathetic. I just I just have such a hard time with this. So let's I want you guys to listen to some of the audio calls that I received over this past week. And listen, this is the brutal truth. This is the truth. This isn't a bunch of lies. Truth's not always pretty. So don't think you're going to get a rosy cup of beautiful sunshine right here. This is not nice to hear. So I want you guys to kind of buckle yourselves in here. Um, this is going to be brutal. I just wanted to give you a call and introduce myself and let you know I'm here. If we can get somewhere together, that'd be great.
Now, say that again. Sorry, honey. People was talking to me. What'd you say?
Well, I'd like to get somewhere together if we can. What I'd like to
Well,
do.
your best place to probably catch me is at her visual. I'm here every day.
What about those witnesses? How do we get a hold of those witnesses?
They're here every day.
Well, can I get them on the phone? Can you get one of them on the phone before the cops get to them?
I can try. Let me find. Hang on, baby. Okay. Let me try to find one of them real quick. I don't know if anyone's here yet. Come here. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Talk to this guy. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
My name is Jose DeCastro. I'm an investigative journalist, and what I do is I expose bad police all over the country. So I want to ask you a few questions, and I don't want to lead you, so you're going to have to fill in the blanks, okay?
Okay.
So were you with Laney the night that she was hit by that car?
Yes.
So who else was there
Yes.
besides you and Laney?
Huh?
Who else was with you?
What?
Who else was with you there? Who else was with you guys?
Me and a couple other friends.
And so, can you kind of paint the scene for me? Because all the calls I make are recorded, so this might come back later, and I just want to make sure we get your story as clearly as you can tell me, without any sort of interruption or anything. So let me know what happened. What time of night was it when you guys were crossing that street?
It was about 10:30. We was crossing the road. The car was way far away, and he was speeding very fast. And then when I seen the car was in front of her, I said, run. And she started running. And when she seen the car was about to hit her, and he smashed his brakes so hard that he swerved out of control and hit her. If he wouldn't have swerved out of control he would have never hit her. If he wouldn't have swerved over, he would have never hit her.
So he was how fast is the speed limit right there at 10 p.m.? Where were you guys?
On 31st Street.
And what's the
speed? The speed limit's probably like 30.
And then he hit Laney in the car.
And the speed limit's 35, and he was going 80.
He was doing about 80, huh? And then when after he hit her, who was with you? Someone else was with you?
A couple other friends.
Okay, so those other friends, when you guys saw this happen, what happened next right after he hit her in the car?
She flew and she was dead on impact because there was no screams or nothing.
Oh, really? So she just got hit and died immediately. And then did he get out of the car?
I don't know. I was panicking. I don't remember what happened after that. It was like a blackout. I got told she was gone, and my mom picked me up.
So where'd your mom pick you up at?
On 31st Street where it happened.
So this guy's doing 80 in a 35, and then he hits and kills Laney, and then you don't remember what happened next? Did you see him get out of the car? Did you see anybody?
No, I didn't. No, the cops flew up and everything, and a bunch of other stuff.
What cops showed up?
How am I supposed to know their names?
No, just which police department showed up? Huntington Police Department. And which one did Jeff Racer work for?
Cabell County Sheriffs.
Cabell County Sheriffs. Okay, so the Huntington, West Virginia police showed up, and then do you know what happened to Jeff Racer? Do you know what happened to him from the scene?
They took him in an ambulance.
They took him in an ambulance?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you know where he went from there? To the hospital?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then did you ever get a chance to see if there was any kind of if the driver was sober or he was drunk? Did you get to see him at all?
No.
Okay, so you just ran off after Laney got hit by that car?
I got picked up by my mom, yeah.
Did you tell your mom what you saw?
Yeah.
Have you talked to the police at all? Have they questioned you or anything like that? No. Okay. See, and that's what I find to be the absolute most incredible. What everybody wants is the truth. That the truth, as difficult as it is, that's what everybody still wants. They still want the truth. And I was telling DLZ Clips yesterday, I don't want to be in charge of this truth. I don't want to be the one to distribute this truth. I don't want to be the one who disseminates this truth. I don't want to. It just sucks. It sucks. So was there other people there that I could talk to besides you?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're here. I'll give the phone back to Opal.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
You too, and take care. I'll see you soon, buddy.
You too. Hello.
So Opal, where was that cop, Jeff Racer, before that accident happened?
Well, I was told that he was at a couple of bars up on Route 60.
Okay, now right here, Opal and I are going to talk about a couple things. and I just want to make sure. Okay, did you go over there and talk to any of those bartenders or anything? Because
I'm going tomorrow.
okay,
Would be to talk to me, which I knew right then what that meant. Well, I sit at my house.
who said they don't work?
Or, you know, they took my baby and are doing a blood test on her. Why isn't he being made to give a blood test?
Oh, they didn't do a blood test on him?
No, they say that's not protocol.
Oh, they did a blood test on her to try to blame her.
Yes. But you know, let me tell you something. I don't care if she was allegedly drunk.
It doesn't
She
matter.
didn't deserve to be hit. And I don't care whether he was drunk or not. I really don't give a about that part. Listen, I believe with all my heart, if he would have been going 13, my baby would not be dead right now. Or 35, my baby wouldn't be dead.
Right. That's exactly correct. It doesn't matter if he was drunk or she was drunk. It matters he was doing 80 where kids cross the street, where people cross the street.
He wouldn't be dead right now.
And
Listen,
is there any cameras in the intersection?
They say they don't work.
Who said they don't work?
The police did.
So just like that, there's an accident and a child is dead, and the police know right away that the intersection where someone has previously been hit, the cameras don't work. They know right away that one of the most difficult intersections in that tri-state area, the cameras don't work. They just know that off the top of their heads. They're already aware of the fact that the cameras don't work because the last person who got hit in this intersection, we knew they didn't work then. So that's what you're hearing. The police are going to tell you that, but you don't know if they don't work or not. You got to climb the ladder.
They haven't talked to any of the kids that was with her because there was 4 other kids with her. They haven't talked to them. Listen. No kind of law enforcement officer. Listen, I got told over Facebook that my baby was hit and killed. Over Facebook by somebody I had no idea who it was. So when I called 911, I thought I was being pranked. So when I called 911 to see if it was really true, they tell me that no 911 officer had come in, or no call had come in. He said, "Hang on a minute, though, I'll find out." He come back and he asked me for my address and told me that an officer would be to talk to me, which I knew right then what that meant. Well, I sat at my house for an hour and a half. Nobody ever showed up. My dad finally picked me up and brought me up here to the scene where I jumped out of the car and an officer instantly put me back in the car, said I was not allowed to see her. That he would take her to St. Mary's because I wanted her up off the ground. She had already laid there for 2 hours. I wanted her up off the ground, and he said, "I'm getting ready to take her to St. Mary's. You can go there in a few minutes and see her." So I left and went to St. Mary's. They didn't pick that baby up off the ground until 2:42 in the morning. She got killed at 10:30. When it happened, no officer went to my baby. They all went to Jeff Racer, and I got pictures of them with their hands on his shoulders. Him standing with his hands in his pockets.
Can you send me those pictures?
Yes, I have pictures of the cop car after it was done. Listen, usually when you hit somebody in a vehicle, it don't do nothing to your car. Wait till you see the pictures of this car.
Let me send those over to me right away. Let's get in front of this because they're going to try to hide this. They're going to try to cover it up.
I know.
So we gotta make the biggest. I'm so sorry. It's got me all messed up, but let's publicize this. I'm gonna publicize this phone call, and we're gonna keep crawling back until we get justice because he was drunk. We know he was drunk. You got to get to those bartenders. You got to get to those waiters. You got to get to those people before the cops get to them because they'll try to change their testimony.
Right. Okay.
There's going to be a receipt from the billing of the bar. Someone had to pay for those drinks. So how much were they and how many drinks were bought?
Right.
He probably has a credit card down there that you can find the actual numbers in case they try to lie and cheat you. They'll try to cheat you. So you want to get the bill. You want the bill on that subpoena. You want the billing for her, the mistress he was with, and for him. Do you know who she is?
I know. I've been given a picture. But and I can't pronounce her name though.
Send me that picture because
But I can send that too.
send it over to me because I'll put that out on the video and we'll find out who she is.
Okay, okay,
We'll see if she's gonna lie under oath or not.
okay, okay.
Okay. And get those other witnesses. I want to talk to them before we air any of this.
Okay,
Didn't see what happened afterwards. We need to find Logan and find out who those other kids are so that we can get
well,
as much as we
there's
can.
another one, but he's not here yet. He's been here ever since this happened, but he's not.
Okay, we're gonna protect this kid's identity, so I'm just gonna jump through this here real fast. I don't want this kid to be identified.
She's not smaller than a kid. Okay. No, she did not. Okay, need a picture of that girl, right?
Yeah, I need a picture of that woman. That's the worst part. The worst part is that it's, of course, that's the worst part is that there is an of course involved. Hannah Elizabeth Gia Marina.
Well, you're camping out at this vigil tonight.
I'm gonna take a screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of this.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, stay strong. Bye, Hannah.
Hello.
Sean,
Jose, how you doing, man?
I'm okay, Sean. I'm sorry about your niece.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It really, really is. It's a big thing going on down here right now.
Of course it is.
And the police just seem not to be doing anything at all, which doesn't surprise me.
Listen, we have, Laney gone. We have limited time to get her justice.
Yes,
We've
exactly.
seen what they do. Go ahead.
Yes, the two kids that were with her, I guess they saw everything. I'm trying to
And there's still been no interview of those two kids who saw everything.
find out who they are.
Why don't you put us on a group text and tell her
Okay,
and
yeah, I can
let her
do
know
that.
who I am and I'm going to call her because we have limited time. We saw it with James Sheets. If we allow the cops to circle the wagons, they're just going to hide it. The
Exactly.
super crew BCI, didn't they ever release all those body cams, all the dash cams? They never did they?
Exactly.
So BCI.
This happened over in Huntington, West Virginia.
Well, in West Virginia, they have a super cop group that probably works for the state attorney as well. And that super cop group comes in and they make sure they hide everything.
Right.
Does anybody disagree with that? I just want to know. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. That they create this super cop group called BCI in Ohio, mostly so they can just cover things up. Because if you research BCI, there are lots of news organizations that have covered BCI where they are an absolute dog shit group of pigs. Facts. Absolute dog shit group of pigs. And so put a 1 in the chat if you believe that these cops go around and they cover up murders. Because I believe it 100%. James Sheets was murdered, set up and murdered. Sorry if you don't like it. That's the fact. So now in Huntington, they set up another group of cops that is going to somehow cover this one up too, because Jeff Racer should have been sequestered from everybody else. They should have got a blood test immediately, but instead they blood tested the dead girl.
All my calls are recorded.
Right.
So,
Right.
There's no, I'm pretty open about it. I tell everybody.
Yes, 100%.
Because I have to protect myself.
Right.
Of course.
This little girl got off at our, got off the bus at our house every day. And we just couldn't believe it, man. My daughter's having a rough time with it.
How are you related to Opal?
Laney lived with her grandma. Okay. Opal is her grandma's daughter. Opal is Laney's mother, and she lived with Laney. I can get you in contact with her too.
Sean, remember, we need to talk to those two kids who saw it.
Yes, 100%. That's the main thing, and I know they know who they are. Because I don't know, and I asked my daughter, and my daughter said she didn't know who they were either. But I know that we could find out. I would already had all this stuff done, but I wasn't for sure if I was going to get out, if I was going to get, be able to get to talk to you.
We're gonna have to have them. I need to talk to those kids before we have an emergency.
So this goes on for a little while longer. There's some stuff in here that I don't want to share, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit through it.
I
Wow.
asked her, I said,
I want you to.
hours or something.
Okay.
But that's Opal. That's Opal. The picture I sent you. That's
Oh, we're definitely gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
They're not gonna just sweep this under the rug.
Gee, I can't believe law enforcement hasn't even reached out to her. They never even talked to the two kids that were with Laney and watched it happen.
They didn't?
No, they haven't even spoke to them.
Wow.
I asked her, I said, the two kids that were with Laney, do you know them? She said, yes. I said, what are their names? She said, I don't want to give that out right now. I said, well, has the cops talked to them? She said, no. She said, the cops hasn't even talked to me, honey. They're going to try to get him off of us, what they're doing.
That sounds like what's happening.
You know that, brother. We know that.
Yeah. I mean, they're not talking to, that's crazy.
They're gonna try to protect their own.
Yes, 100%.
That's how it's gonna go.
So I'm going to fast forward through this a little bit here, and I'm going to come right here to.
All right, thank you.
Peace. Hey, nice to meet you. How you doing?
I mean, I'm doing the best I can with the situation at hand.
And so your son, you told me, was with Laney the other night when she got hit by that trooper with the cop.
Yes. But he was with her all night that night.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. And what exactly is he telling you now?
My son called me at 10:32 p.m. pleading, telling me that he knew he messed up. They shouldn't have been doing what they were doing, and that his friend got hit. I immediately ran to the scene. He called me at 10:32. I made it to the scene at 10:37. My son is stating that, of course, they were out drinking and smoking weed. And apparently someone that gave them a blunt had K2 in it as well. They were extremely messed up that night.
So they're out drinking and smoking pot, which is just, in case you didn't know, pretty normal.
Yeah.
And so your son's name is Tyler, you said?
No, my son's name is.
Oh, okay. And so was Laney, did he see Laney get hit by that car? He saw the whole thing?
Yeah, he was 2 feet away from it.
And wow. So
He said that as the. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
He said as they were walking down Fifth Avenue, they went across the street and the light was yellow. So they went ahead and went to cross. Laney and a little boy named were crossing the street, and just so happened it stepped back, and Laney was trying to. When she tried to tried to turn, that's when he hit her, and that she went flying in the air.
Were his emergency lights on?
No, sir. My son said he didn't even realize he knew it was a cop car, but he didn't realize it was a cop because he was in regular clothing with a female passenger with him. And that within 20 seconds of the officer pulling up to the scene, the officer racer was removed. The officer was removed from the scene. Like he did. Okay, so this is part of the reason why I've called Cable County 20 times this week and I can't get through. I want to know what kind of protocol that is to have your cops who work with this cop that killed a kid sweep him off of the scene. That is just some bunk. That is some crap. It really is. This is, when they say, what changes do you want to offer? Well, here's the change I want to offer. When someone is hurt or killed by the police, that person is sequestered, and every cop who's involved with that cop is also sequestered. All their communication devices are stripped. And then a thorough investigation is done. Not by BCI, crap organization, not by the super cops in West Virginia or in Kentucky, by a third-party autonomous organization that works against cops to try to convict them like cops try to convict us. Like their job is to convict bad cops, convict cops who kill and hurt people.
But this is the second or third witness, and she was Johnny on the spot. This is full-grown woman standing there. They swept the cop off the scene. I mean, if that's not corruption right in front of your face, then explain to me what is.
Get a breathalyzer. Like I said, I showed up within 7 minutes or 10 minutes of the incident happening. I got there at 10:37, and I didn't even see a breathalyzer or field sobriety test being done.
And the cop that hit Laney was gone.
Yeah, I didn't see him there at all.
So you were there.
The cops.
You were there within 5 minutes, and the cop was already gone.
Yes, sir.
Is that? That's not normal. Typically, when there's an accident, they don't whisk the people off the scene who were in the accident.
Exactly.
Especially when someone's dead.
Yep.
Why would they whisk that cop away from the scene? Let's play it out the way that the cop suckers would. That Laney was in the road and it was on a yellow light and she shouldn't have been in the road and all those things. Fine, okay. But the protocols that were taken aren't normal.
No, they're not. It's a cover-up for sure. I don't see how it's taken until Thursday to remove the black box from the cop's vehicle to determine the speed of the vehicle when at the intersection of 5th Avenue and 31st Street, there's at least 5 cameras on the lights.
Oh, they're saying that they didn't work.
And that's what they're saying. But I know that they do because I literally seen and heard people get tickets from speeding right there.
Okay, so now remember, the cops tell the people on the scene right away, those cameras don't work. We now have sorry about that. Internet's a little bit shoddy, but now a woman who lives right in Lawrence County in that area, in the tri-state area, saying that it's to work. So which is it? We're never going to know because remember, only the first responders get access to the camera footage. That's the biggest problem we have in the United States of America. If we all got the camera footage, this would not be a situation. If the camera footage was uploaded from a third party that then made it transparent within 24 hours, where are the cameras from the BCI investigation of the James Sheets murder? Where's those cameras at?
Dangerous spot. A year ago, a guy got killed basically in the same area from a guy speeding.
And it's funny they didn't put emergency yellow lights, 100 yards back from the stoplights and make them flash yellow so that people know it's time to stop.
That too, and then on top of that, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. On top of that is there was multiple people that had to come out of their home. Like he hit Laney so hard. My son said he hit her so hard that he still hears the noise. But he hit her so hard that the witnesses that live in the homes thought it was a car accident. So when they ran outside, they were screaming and yelling at him to turn his flashers on, to turn his lights on. And he never once walked up to the girl to check on him or any of that. Now, the first lady that pulled up on the scene, I have her. I've been talking to her because she helped my son that night because he was freaking out.
Sure.
So she said that she's trying to figure out where the witness came from because she was the first person to stop. She's the one that called 911.
Get her number and tell her I want to talk to her because, if she was there, first person on the scene, then, what was the process with Jeff Racer? So the kids are out drinking, smoking, having a good time. And, the cop, if he's not driving 80 through there, then it doesn't matter if the girl's not in perfect order. Because if you're doing 30, 35, you can just slam the brakes on. But he was rallying through there with some babe in his passenger seat in a cop car, and he's a cool guy. That's what it sounds like to me.
And then that same night, these cops were like overly aggressive toward these teenage kids. Like they were being completely rude to them. The lady that stopped, the first lady that stopped, they wouldn't even take a statement from her.
So that's going to be Morgan Gall. Who was right there, Johnny on the spot. And so Now we're hearing again from the mother of one of the children. We heard from Morgan Gall earlier that the cops were so aggressive with her boyfriend, they were physically pushing him and shoving him and trying to have this thing with him. Then we hear from another witness that's not involved with that witness that the cops are overly aggressive with teenage kids. And I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but death is pretty traumatic for every walk of life: black, yellow, green, tall, short, fat, skinny, ugly, weird, whatever you are, death messes you up. So you got a bunch of kids there who literally watched one of their classmates just die, and the cops are being aggressive pigs. You wonder why I exist, people who hate me. I exist because of the pigs. I am what I am because of pigs. I'm here now, and there's 200 people listening because of the pigs, because of piggish treatment, because we're treated like constantly in this country. Upon suspicion, you will enter into a POW style of arrest. And if your friend is killed, we will dominate you and you will shut up. And that's what we're seeing across the country. This is why I exist. For you haters, I exist because of this woman's statements now. I exist because of Morgan Gall's statements right now, because I'm not afraid of these filthy animals. That's why I exist. They made me. And now we're coming together, we're coalescing, and we are going to change this bullshit system. This should make your blood boil.
Or let her stay on the scene. They made her leave.
What? They made the witness leave?
Because she didn't see the hit. She only stopped afterwards.
Well, but she still has information about what they did with Jeff Racer.
She said when they first showed up there that the EMS and cops came over to where she was at with the other 4 kids that were there, and she had to scream and tell them to go across the street.
Okay. Kids drink. High school kids drink. Let me just tell you something. It's no newsflash. I need to talk. You said his name is?
Yes, she's actually with Laney's mom right now, Opal, protesting at our courthouse.
I wanted to explain this to Opal yesterday, but she's in such a state. She's going to get a lot more traction if she just sits down in front of a computer, and I'll send her person after person after person to interview her. She'll get a lot further. I understand that there's a rallying call in that town, but she's going to get way further if these kids and her sit in front of a computer and interview with people online. You're going to go further. The message goes longer.
And that's what I was telling my son. Like, I want you to sit down with me, and I want you to give me your story, because I want to put it out there. I want to bring attention. Like,
Do we have the DLZ? Yeah, you have to invoke your lawyer right away, because these guys. DLZ clips. Do we have the kid statement on there too? I'm not sure if we do or not, but not quite sure. But what I do want to show you guys is exactly what that car looks like from getting hit by Jeff Racer. That's the car. I mean, that's quite a hit right there. That's quite a hit. I mean, that car is pretty messed up from a 13-year-old 90-pound girl. Pretty sad. So I imagine you still with us, Morgan? I'm not sure if you're there or not, but if you
I'm
are,
still here.
so this the person that they're talking about in this scene where they won't interview the witness is you.
It could even be my sister. My sister actually lives across the street from me. So she was standing with the kids on the corner as well. She also lives there and heard it and came outside.
Okay, so you're both out there and you're both concerned about what's happening with the death in front of your home. I mean, that's pretty normal thing to be concerned about. So What else do you want to say, Morgan? You got the floor. Is there anything that you want to say to the community there, or to anybody watching and listening to this right now? Is there anything that you want to talk?
I think the most that I want to say is if it was any regular civilian, we would have never been swept away from the scene. We would have had a mugshot all over the news the next morning. That I the problem isn't that it was an officer. The problem is that the situation isn't being investigated and done as it should. It's not because it's him specifically, it's because of the way the situation is happening. It shouldn't be happening the way it is. And from my understanding, that man has so much brain damage right now that he should never have been on the streets at that point in time in the first place. The cops were giving him an option to take leave when it should have been a mandatory leave. That
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me stop you right here. What are you talking about? Can you back up a few steps in your knowledge and go to the beginning of that knowledge and tell us what you're saying? So you're saying that there was a petition or a recommendation that Jeff Racer not be a cop or on the scene or driving? What are you saying exactly?
I'm saying Jeff Racer is an ex-Marine. He was blown up, left the Marines, never made to leave or take time because of possible head damage there. He became a sheriff. And I'm not sure if anyone knows, a little boy ran into an interstate at Cabell Midland a few weeks back. He was actually the officer that picked that boy up off the streets. That is another traumatic event for me. That was the time that he was asked if he wanted a couple of extra days to process, and he said no.
So Jeff Racer's a Marine. He goes to serve our country, which I appreciate everybody who serves in the military. I'm sorry, the military industrial complex is a scam, but I do appreciate men and women who sign up. And so he serves, he gets blowed up. How badly is he blowed up?
It was an object in his hand. It actually blew a few fingers off.
So he's missing some fingers on one hand?
Yes.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't like cops, but I don't like mutilation. I like mutilation less. So I'm sorry that happened to him, especially when he was serving our country. But and so he gets his hand blowed up because he's a Marine, and then I imagine that's the end of his service. He probably comes home and gets honorably discharged. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And then a few weeks previous to him killing Laney, there is a little boy who's killed or dies got hit by a car, or how did he die?
Yeah, he got hit by a car as well.
Okay. So a few weeks earlier, a little boy had been hit by a car, and Jeff Racer comes to the scene, the guy who obviously has PTSD, and God bless him. Sorry that happened to him. But he is the man who comes and scoops the little boy off the concrete.
Yes, he was the one that supported his neck and his head until an ambulance got there.
Does the little boy live or die?
I believe he is dead as well.
So the little boy dies. So Jeff Racer is facing trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And then after he scoops the little boy off the concrete, then within the Huntington Police Department or the Cobb County Sheriffs, they recommend that he take some time off. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, he was offered to take a few days off, yes, if he wanted. But it was an option. It wasn't mandatory.
And 10-8, officer back on duty, and the guy's mentally unstable. 25% of all piggies in America are ex-military. 25% of all piggies currently are ex-military. When the police get a phone call for someone who's ex-military suffering from PTSD in their ranking system, they consider that as dangerous or more dangerous than domestic violence call, which used to be considered the number one dangerous call for police officers in America. But today, the number one considered dangerous call from police is a former veteran, a veteran who's experiencing PTSD, and it's a welfare call. One of the family members calls and says, "Oh, my uncle's losing his mind. He served 2 tours in Iraq and he's got PTSD." Police now consider that the most dangerous call they go to. And 25% of cops are ex-military. So just square that logic in your head. So, And so this is an ongoing problem. The same thing happened with 9/11. The cops who responded to 9/11 and the firefighters responded to 9/11, there was a big study on it. And the cops all went off on their own. They all separate and go home. 10/8, officer back on duty. The fire department guys live together. They all live in the firehouse. Well, the study is 10, 15, 20 years later, most of those cops are dead or retired, and most of those firefighters were still on the scene and had overcome their PTSD because of group therapy. But not cops. When they pick a little boy up off the concrete, 10/8, I'm fine. Put me back online. Meanwhile, Jeff Racer goes out, has a bunch of cocktails, whatever. Let's say he's had just 2 cocktails, and then he's driving 80 through town, and he kills Laney. And this is the ongoing problem. This is the ongoing problem in our country. So now, where are you getting this information, Morgan, that the police, the Cobble County Sheriff's Department had recommended to Jeff Racer that he takes a few days off work?
I was actually asked not to share the person's name. They were in contact with you, but asked to stay anonymous.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. Okay. 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 So I respect that. Like I always say, as much as I detest the policing organization of law enforcers, there are some good people within the organization. I don't understand why they do that. But why would you join a Death Star if you're a good person? But the point is that somebody gave Morgan this information who's on the inside. And to that person, that human being, I want to say thank you for sharing this, because this shines a bigger light on the nightmare of the Jeff Racer Jr. situation. Jeff Racer Jr., in my opinion, shouldn't be a cop. He's already experienced enough trauma in his life. He's got his hands blown off. He already served our country. He already put in his time. And now I think Jeff Racer should and the people of Huntington should run him out of town. He shouldn't be a cop there anymore. You guys should make him feel uncomfortable. He killed a little girl. Sorry. If let me ask you guys a question. Put a 1 in the chat if you think I killed a little girl, if people would make me uncomfortable. Put a 1 in the chat if I killed a little girl in my car, if people around the country, every time I turn my camera on, would make me feel uncomfortable. Every time I went live, people would remind me of the little girl that I killed, wouldn't they? I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm only a social media influencer, so I'm just a regular old dunce cap over here. But they would make me feel very uncomfortable if I still had a channel after I killed somebody and continued to get drunk or continued to broadcast live, right? So you guys should make this man feel very uncomfortable. He shouldn't be allowed to be driving around there with a big smile on his face, enjoying himself, while Opal and her family mourns the death of Laney Hudson. It just shouldn't be a thing. So now we know that this guy was unstable from the beginning. Number one, why is a guy who got his hand blown off in the military being a cop? For what? If you're that obsessed with guns and shooting and all that stuff, go do something else, dude. Go become a Call of Duty champion, whatever those silly channels are. So, okay. So Morgan, where are you with this? Just if you, in an ideal world, if you could say, I'm the boss, here's what I want to happen, what happens next?
A fair investigation. I don't feel like anything that they're doing at this point in time is fair to either side. I believe that Jeff Racer having mental issues, that isn't something that you just get to decide to waive off. I believe that should be mandatory. I believe he should be mandatory medically evaluated. He actually needs medical help, and that's not something that you can just pass off, especially as an officer being an authority over weapons and supposed to be protecting your people. If you have brain damage, if you have PTSD, if you any of that, there should be some type of medical evaluation there. But instead they're giving him an option to do whatever he wants. As basically they're letting him do as he please.
Yeah. So you just want a fair investigation. Now, Morgan, you hate all cops, don't you? You're a giant cop hater, right? That's who you are?
I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that I hate all cops. I don't think that all cops are corrupt, but I believe that the cops that are corrupt take their authority and run with it. and they know they're going to get away with it, and they know because they're an authority, there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Because we've given cops absolute power. You're not even allowed to shrug your shoulder if they grab you, or they'll eviscerate you with overwhelming sticks and tasers and guns. So she just wants a fair investigation, and she's not a cop hater. Whoa, whoa. All right, Morgan, thanks for your time. I'll let you go. Anything else? You got my number, you got my line. You can always reach me. Anybody else wants to reach out to me, they can find me on Facebook or find me through Instagram and find me through DLZ clips or delete laws at Gmail. So, Morgan, if that's it, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Morgan. See you soon. Bye bye. So I'm just gonna try. We had Opal set up for today at noon. I'm just gonna just real quick just give her a call. Let me see if I can get Opal on the line real fast. Um, it's uh, it's just I want to get Opal on the line so we can hear from her. I just want to be able to hear directly from Opal. I want her to be able to share what she's feeling right now. And if we don't get her now, we'll get her another day. We'll bring her in, and we'll have her. Um, let's see. She's on another call. It says so. I can't even. I can't fathom losing a child because number one, I don't have any children. But number two, I I I haven't spent it just I don't have any children is an easy way to say I haven't raised someone from a baby until they're 13 years old. I haven't raised another human being fully on my own. I spent a lot of time with my family and investing in my family with my nieces and nephews for sure. Definitely played Uncle Daddy quite a few roles, but because I'm not a parent, um, I don't I can't even fathom what Opal is feeling. I have no idea. I can't even. I know I can only I can only equate a major loss with my uncle passing away. The my grandma passing away. I can't equate losing a child to any kind of relevance because it's just not relevant. So it's just it just got me just you know what I mean. I'll try one more time. If not, I'll let it go. See if I can get her on the line here. Try to get her on the phone. See if she wants to talk. We've been talking back and forth last few days trying to get her on, so maybe she'll be able to jump on a call. Let me try one more time. Let me try her direct line and see if I can reach her that way. Let me see if I can reach her and get her. If not, I'll leave her. I'll leave her alone. Yeah, she's not answering. That's okay. So, just we'll do. I'll show you guys one more. Um, let's just go over it one more time, just so that we don't let her memory fade away. We want to make sure that we keep her memory alive and well. And so we'll just go over just one more time, um, and we'll just take a look just once more and see. It's pretty sad. It's pretty devastating all the way around, to be honest with you. But it's a lot. Like I said, it's never fun covering any of this stuff. It's just not a good time. It's not like it's a fun thing. But I don't want her memory to fade away and nobody to be able to continue to talk about Laney and what and the cover up going on there in Huntington. And she was loved. The community loved her. Her family loved her. She had a boyfriend apparently. He loved her too. And she was just a big personality. You can just see it. Got a huge character. A lot of so so there that is. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I tried to reach Opal. I didn't reach her. If Opal wants to reach me, she will. We have been communicating the last few days. We had this scheduled, but I can't imagine her emotional state. You know, everything's gonna be fine. This is the worst ever. Everything's gonna be fine. This is the worst ever. It's okay. She's in heaven. No, it's not. She's not here. That it's a constant ebb and flow of emotions where you can't get your bearing. you know, last I don't want to cry. So, um I don't want to cry. So, uh last week when my uh last month when my uncle passed, um I remember feeling all these horrible feelings and fears and thoughts that were absolutely terrifying for me as a person. And my uncle was not my child. He was a big figure in my life when I was a little boy. So I can't even imagine what Opal's going through constantly. I mean, absolutely constantly. So anyway, let's get the let's take a look at the fundraiser real quick. Can someone drop that link in here and let me just promote this fundraiser for a couple minutes? Um, and Someone drop that in the comments if you would. Drop down that fundraiser. We'll see if we can put a few $100 on there. There, that is right there. Um, I don't know where that is. DLZ clips. Can you put it right? Can you put it right here so that I can promote the fundraiser real fast? Maybe I can find it on the internet if I just look it up. But it'd be easier. And then everybody here can throw in $5 or $10. V Boyer, how you doing, hun? Shock Professor. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. So, any luck on that in the comment section? I'll just see if I can find it on the internet here real quick. I'll put it next to the StreamYard link. Let's see what pops up. Here this is. I hope that this is still active. Okay, there it is. I found the fundraiser. Let me share this real quick with you guys. And if everybody wants to, it's at 6066 right now. If everybody wants to pop $5 over onto this GoFundMe right here, that would be absolutely amazing. Remember, we put about $1,500 on this, so we put about a 1/4 of this money that team DLZ over here we donated 1,500 about on the last live that we did. So there that is. It's at 6066 now. If anybody wants to throw on another $20, 15, $20, any amount of money you want to put in there, that would be absolutely amazing. Just so you guys, just so you know, not only have I donated to this particular fund this month, I've donated to a half a dozen other funds this month. So I'm starting to feel the burn. I'm starting to feel the burn a little bit, as far as just being able to get this studio built out and stuff. So, but I want to I want to promote this. So if anybody has an extra $5, $10, $20, $100, however much money you have that you can throw into the pot. Um, and let's read some names off here of some people: Donna Smith, Ted Goldsmith, Dakota Pruitt, Tim Frost, Anonymous, Tiffany Garrett. That's very sweet. Tiffany throwing $5. Jessica Smoot, Christine Wilson, Kimberly Price, $25. Anonymous put in $100. Anonymous, $20. Paula Butcher put in $20. Savannah Meyer put in $5. Thank you, Savannah. God bless you. It's very sweet of you to throw that $5 in. Lane Swain put in $20. Isis Neal put in $10. Stephanie Williams, Desmond Gonzalez put in $20 right here. Christopher uh, Planatia, I can't pronounce that. Platania put in $50. Roscoe put in $50. Thanks, Roscoe. Appreciate that. Uh, Malia Henson put in $20. Um, Blessing put in $5. Oh, God bless you, Blessing. Thank you for putting that in. That's very sweet of you. Kennedy Cole threw in $5. Barston Barton Barton Golden. What a great name that is. Barton Golden put in $10 for a little girl who's not with us. Nicole Coma put in $5. Thanks, Nicole. Julie Julie put in $50. Thanks, Julie. Anonymous put in $20. Joseph Gannett put in $50. Lucas Brooks put in $25 right here. Kimberly Ogan, I hope I say that name properly. She put in $200. God bless you, Kimberly. She has the ability to give, and she did. Thank you, Kimberly. Carissa Walker McQuaid put in $25. Jeff Pullen put in $25. So that was really really lovely. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that. You guys couldn't see it. Let me keep going down the. So Jeff Pullen, Kari Sanders put in $25 right there. So we do have this link up. I'll put it right here in the comment section. There's the link in the comments. If anybody wants to put in $5 or $10, I'll read your name off. I'll give a few minutes here so people can jump in and throw in 5 or 10 or $20. Anonymous 10, Anonymous 50, Anonymous. Skylar Roy put in $50. Jill Riley put in $50. Caitlin Dingus put in $10. Leah Webb, thank you, Leah, putting in $5 for somebody. Anonymous $10. Nicole Hagley put in $25. Noel Dunn put in $50. And let me go to the most recent ones. Let me refresh this real quick so that I can. So Donna Smith, I think, is still the last donation. Donna Smith is the last donation. Let me close this real quick and see if I can. We're still at 6066. I do believe we have a couple people who will throw in a couple bucks. So um, yeah, see, I don't care about the top donations. I care about the $5 donations, the $10. Dakota Pruitt putting in $10. Thanks a lot. Tim Frost, Anonymous, Tiffany Garrett right here putting in $5. What that tells me is that someone who doesn't have an extra $5, they don't have it. And Tiffany Garrett is throwing in that $5 because that's the $5 she has to give. So that's what you're talking about, and that's what all of us here. There's 150, 200 people in this room. If we all put in $5, that's $1,000. If we all put in $5, and that's the point, is helping people. I'm with you there, Gloria. So it's just never ending. It's never ending. So the GoFundMe link, once again, is right here. I'm just going to drop it in the comment section. If anybody wants to throw in $5 or $10, that would be absolutely amazing. Nathan, thanks for joining. Appreciate you, Ryu. Thank you for the nice words. Kind words are always a. Christina Wilson threw in $25. Kimberly Price threw in $25. Paula Butcher put in $20 right there 5 days ago. Savannah Myers put in $5. Lane Swain put in $20. Isis Neal put in $10. Stephanie Williams put in 30. Desmond Gonzalez put in 20 bucks. The name I can't pronounce, Christopher. Rocco Roscoe put in $50. Malia put in 20 bucks. Look at Blessing putting in the $5. Thank you, Blessing, for putting that in for her. Kennedy Cole put in $5 for Justice for Laney. Barton Golden put in $10. Nicole Coma put in $5. Nicole, thanks a lot. That's really sweet of you. I know that it's money's tight right now for everybody. Believe me, I know. Julie, $50. Put that in. Thanks, Julie. Joseph Gannett put in $50. Thanks, Joseph. Lucas Brooks put in $25. Kelsey Warner put in 10. Kelson Warner put in $10. Kimberly Ogan put in $200. Thank you, Kimberly, for giving because you could. Very, very loving of you. Thank you for helping that family out. Carissa Walker McQuaid put in $25. Jeff Pullen put in $25. Carrie Sanders put in $25. Anonymous here, another $60. $65 more from people who don't even want to be recognized right here in these three. They don't even want the recognition. They just want to give. Skylar Roy put in $50. Beautiful. Thank you, Skylar. Jill Riley put in $50. Caitlin Dingus put in $10. Leah Webb put in $5 here. Nicole Hagley put in $25. So, you know, I can just keep going. So, so there it is. Anyway, I know this last few minutes where we're grinding some money out of people and raising funds for others and just reading off names of people who have given, it's not nearly as exciting as the audits that we do, but the truth is that this channel, when I started it, I dedicated myself to helping people. I kept that mantra even along the journey when I met horrible people who probably didn't deserve my help, but I helped them anyway. And I'm not going to stop helping people. So I am asking everybody here, if you have $5, to go ahead and put it into this. I mean, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. I've already put in 50 or so, but I'll put in $5 more because uh, it's just got to be done. It's something that has to be done. So there it is. Kevin threw in $5 right there. Amy Joe threw in $5. Vicky Boyer threw in. Oh, God bless you all. Look at this. This is our people right here, guys. Kevin's one of our people. Amy's one of our people. Vicky's one of our people. And let me throw in my $5 because I'm gonna throw in my $5. If everybody throws in $5, and I'll give the GoFundMe their 15%. And then I'll do a credit card or debit card. Let me just real quick. No, Eric, I got you, man. I got you, brother. Let me just real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I can put my credit card information in real fast. But if Eric, I got your $5, so I'm gonna up this to $750 because I'm gonna put half of Eric's money in there because I can't cover the whole thing. But I'll just go to $8. Oh, I'll just go to $8, and that covers Eric and mine. I'm gonna drop this down to where it's $1. So I'm throwing in another $8.80, as you guys can see. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I'm just gonna throw in my $5 plus Eric's. I'm giving half the money that Eric gave here to Laney. So let me just stop sharing my screen real fast so I can put my credit card information in here. And I'm going to ask all of you guys to throw your $5 into the GoFundMe. Give directly to her if you would, please. That would mean a lot to me. And let me just, Marcy, nice to see you. I see your pinned comment there. Let me put my $5 at my $8.80. Okay. One second, guys. I'm just putting in my credit card information here, making sure I got the right credit card information in here. So, and it only takes a minute, but then it makes it so that I got the wrong number in there. That was a problem. Confirm. Okay, got that. 0927. 4426381. Okay. United States. Very good. Okay. I threw in my money, guys. So there's a traffic light there. There's a traffic light there. Traffic light there. Verify I'm not a robot. Okay, that's going through. There it is. I'm going to copy this, and now I'll go back here, and I will present the screen, share screen. So I threw in my money. It's only a little, but it's something. So if you guys want, if you're so inclined to match me, I put in $8.80 is what I did. And so copy. Okay. And then there it is. So we put a little bit more money on there. We put a little bit more money on there. So there's see all. So so far in the last few minutes, we got Nathan. Nathan, let me make sure the StreamYard set up correctly here. Let me put it like this. Sorry about that. So just in the last 5 minutes, guys, here's the amount of money. We started at 60.66, and now we're Nathan put in $10. Anna Clay just put in $250. So that's very sweet. Thank you. We raised this pot up a little bit, so that's all we can really hope to do is try to do good. For some reason, it's not doing what I want it to do again, but that's all right. We're doing good. So Scrubzilla threw in his $5 right there. Robert Tetrialt put in $20. This is me. I'm Jose DeCastro. I put in for me and for the $5 donation that came in. Here's Bruce. Bruce just put in $10 7 minutes ago. Anonymous, someone from watching the channel, has put in another $20. Kevin put in 5, started off getting that going. Vicky Boyer, Donna Smith threw in $10. Ted Goldsmith threw in 25. Dakota Pruitt. So these are today's, starting here with Ted's. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Donna Smith, so much. Vicky Boyer, Vicky L. Boyer, Amy Joe. Thank you, Amy Joe, Kevin, Anonymous, Bruce, Scrub, Robert, and Nathan. So I just want to say a real quick shout out. Thank you to those guys who did that. I'll refresh this page. Let's see where we are. So we put another couple $100 on there, which is or 6066, and now so we put another $100 on there, guys. That's what we did. That's what we did. We threw another $100 on that page, which is this is what we can do. What we can do is we can share our love and our goodness and share this video, and Justice for Laney should be hashtagged on all of your Facebook posts, all of your Twitter posts, all your Instagram posts. Justice for Laney should go completely across everything until this is done. Very nice. Thank you. And every cop on the scene needs removed from law enforcement. Yeah, Cletus, I don't even like the term law enforcement. It should be removed from rights protector. It should be removed as a safety officer, a peace officer. A peace officer agreement is what they sign. Marcy, God bless you, honey. You know, you throw in anything you can, $1, $2, $5, doesn't matter what it is. It's you giving to another person that you don't know, and you don't get anything back from it. That you see, you give to people and you don't get anything back other than feeling good about you donating to another person for just a moment. And that's the most important thing. Oh yeah, Scott. Scott's got some education. Wickard v. Filburn. It's going to be the 19 is it 1943? Is that the case of Wickard versus Filburn? Is it 1943? I think it is 1943. And that's going to have to do with the government using the Commerce Clause to regulate interstate commerce by saying that you can't grow wheat on your property. You can't grow wheat because that's going to affect interstate commerce. What if that wheat gets out to other farmers? Well, I'm just using it to feed my own cattle, my own livestock. Oh no, you can't grow wheat on your own property. And that's Wicker v. Filburn, the first big overreach. So I've got another live to do tonight. I got to go live on TikTok, Rick Rock, later tonight. Just so everybody, I couldn't. It wouldn't let me go live for some reason. So I think maybe because I'm not on the internet on this one right now, but uh, I am on the internet. I just don't know why I couldn't go live. But I will later tonight on TikTok, Rick Rock. So we'll get that going. And let's check this one more time. Let's see if anybody else was able to donate anything else. We'll just do a real quick check, just a real quick temperature check here, real fast, to see if we got anything here. Um, so we raised just, yep, we did. So there it is right there. Someone else threw in a little bit of money. Someone else just threw in some money, which is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. Bumble Charles, what's going on, brother? He's in the room right now, guys. He's in the room right here. He's donating money out to people who you know, right there, and that right there, there's Brumble, $5. That's all I asked for, and you did it. There's Marcy Fox throwing in her $5. There's Tom Shaw threw in $12. Tom, thanks, Tom. Really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate you guys giving to someone that you're never going to get anything back from. That's that's the point. You're giving to someone who you're never going to get anything back from. All right. All right. I could sit here and talk about this until we get justice for her, but it's not a very fun thing to do. So, name revealed, Marcy. Name revealed. All right, Mark. All right, Scrub. All right, Cope. Doggies in the hizzy. Jeff hates pigs. V Boyer. Good to see everybody. Scrubzilla. Love you, man. Shock Professor. DJ Smith. Nice to see you. KT. Kevin. Good to see everybody. Butch the original. So good to see all of you. Charles Bumble throwing in some cash. Your confidence is poquito, amigo. Poquito. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Justice for Laney. I'll try to reach Opal. If she wants to come on, she can. If she doesn't, that's okay. We'll just keep Laney's name alive. We'll keep her memory alive. And anybody else has information about these cops or about the situation, you can reach me at deletelaws@gmail.com or deletelawsclips@gmail.com. And tell me what you know. I want to hear it. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.